Hi, welcome to FilmSauce. I'm FilmSauce, and in this Saucy video, we're looking at Orion and the Dark, released in 2024. Directed by Sean Sharmatz and written by Charlie Kaufman, Orion and the Dark shows a story of a boy who's with the dark. Throughout this film, I'll also reward or negate source points, and at the end of this video, I will tally them up and see how truly saucy this movie is. But now, let's dive into this strange film. The film starts off with us meeting Orion, who is a kid just like you. But Orion is lonely and has a crush, but he will not say his feelings because he has a fear of rejection and everything else. Orion kinda lists off all of his fears to us, with them being clogging the toilet and flooding the school, being wrong in class, murderous gutter clowns, wonder what that's referencing, cell phone waves giving cancer, mosquito bites, falling off a skyscraper, saying good morning, bees, dogs, the ocean, responsible for sports team losing, and of course locker room, because people see he's dickless. I mean, because of Richie, who is a bully. But who is getting bullied by this kid who says the strangest little insults?
Wear pants much?
Well, like George McFly before him, Orion isn't very good at confrontation. Now, there's a school trip to a planetarium pops up, which causes a lot of fear in Orion to stir, but his crush asks to sit next to him, but because of his fears, he doesn't want to go. Now we meet Orion's parents, who seem nice enough, but they really want him to go to the planetarium, and after a scared episode, Orion attempts to sleep in the light, because he is most afraid of the dark. Orion is still in bed, having another scared episode, which is capped off with a black mist forming in his room, that is played by the guy from the hit movie Queen Pins, who exclaims his constant annoyance with Orion, and how his life sucks because everyone hates or is scared of him. Orion talks to this Dark about how he doesn't want to be afraid of anything anymore, giving Dark an idea to have Orion join him on the night shift, and Orion, being afraid, initially denies the offer, but after a few seconds he comes around shaking on it. Dark and Orion fly off, and we suddenly cut to Orion being old, talking to his daughter. This just feels too sudden, introducing the fact that this is but a story, maybe a bit too far into the film. -1 source point. Anyway, we cut back to them flying off around, but this doesn't help Orion, who falls off Dark to his death. Never mind. Dark tells Orion how he can only return him home after the night shift, so Orion is stuck with Dark for 24 hours. Now we meet the other entities: Sleep, who sleeps, Quiet, who's quiet, Insomnia, who insomnias, Unexplained Noises, who unexplained noises, and Sweet Dreams, who hates on Dark for bringing a child, especially since the child is the Screamer. But they just let it be, and now the light starts going towards Orion in the Dark, but for a suspicious reason he covers the sun up. Anyway, they fly off again. Now on flight with the other entities, we see them doing their jobs. Sleep suffocates people to sleep and makes out with Orion. Insomnia just whispers in people's ears, and that's it. Quiet makes things quiet, freaking Orion out. Unexplained Noises does Raccoon's job. And now we check out Sweet Dreams, who makes sweet dreams. Does sweet dreams make wet dreams? Anyway, Orion ruins the dream with dentist officers, cucumbers, and Richie. But hey, they escape. Now, after being bullied by all entities and the nightmare, Orion hates himself in life, but Dark makes him feel better because Orion isn't scared of him anymore. Oh, and Orion shouts at his daughter, making us cut back to the oldest Orion and his daughter, where they yap a bit. But now we're back in the story where Dark and Orion just chill in a montage, with Orion redeeming himself and helping the other entities. And by the end of the montage, everyone loves him, but that doesn't ring the same for Dark, with us seeing a child cry over being afraid of him, making him feel depressed, but Orion makes him feel better. Now we officially meet Light, who is Dark's nemesis, but he's kind of chill, but also kind of a dickhead. Back to older Orion and daughter, they walk outside the park where it's dark, but they get scared, so they walk to it as where it is bright and they yap some more. Back to the story, the night entities continue their work, but Orion is still afraid of dark, somewhat, and he talks to the other night entities about how great light is, and how dark is a problem, in front of dark. This kid is a dickhead. Light is now approaching, and Dark and Orion fly away with a strained relationship, with the only way to fix it being an apology video. But like an apology video, it makes things worse, with the other night entities have been hating more on Dark for him keeping them away from Light. So they wait for Light, basically quitting. Now, Dark is basically depressed, and he waits for Light, so he'll basically die. He'll kill himself, leaving Orion on a flying turtle. Back to the adult Orion and daughter. They are in the planetarium, which turns out to be Orion's job, but that doesn't really matter anyway. Orion has writer's block, so his daughter continues the story with her adding herself into it from the future, making a plan to save the day. And story Orion doesn't even have a double take about how some random girl appeared on his turtle. Anyway, the world being in constant day makes it just worse. So the night entities come back with daughter character having the idea to search through Orion's memories to respawn Dark. With sweet dreams, daughter teleports into Orion's mind, scrolling through his mind until they go to Orion and the Dark's first meeting. But for some reason, there is a wormhole in Orion's closet, which sucks up Dark and Orion. But daughter catches Orion and he is told how this is his mind so he can, control it or something. Orion wraps a makeshift rope around himself, jumps down the wormhole, grabs Dark. But this is a mistake. Everything gets worse with the rope breaking and the duo falling to the wormhole. While all this happens, the entities are outside trying to wake him up, but Quiet takes up the task of waking Orion up and telling him he'll miss the field trip. Orion wakes up, respawning Dark, and his daughter is there. So the world is saved, the night entities are all friends with Dark again. Daughter is there, and Orion is back home after being missing for 24 hours. But the parents didn't have to worry because they were asleep for 24 hours. But now, there's the most random-ass problem with daughter being 20 years back in time, unable to go back to the future. But hey, Tico with Time Machine is here, so everything is okay, besides the monsters. So they beat up pixel monsters, and just what the fuck is this ending? -2 source points. Anyway, so the daughter is back in the future with adult Ryan, and now we go further into the future with adult daughter character and her son Tico from before. This ending is giving me a brain aneurysm. Now we have a final talk about how Grandpa Ryan and adult daughter talk about Tico added a time machine to the story, and it was a good idea. It was not. Oh, and Orion's wife was his crush from the beginning. The end. And that was Orion in the Dark, a somewhat decent film until the brain aneurysm ending. But hey, if you like the film, don't let these source points take that away from you. Talking about the source points, let's count them. Orion in the Dark gained a total of 0 source points, and it was full of rotten mustard because 3 points were negated, landing this film at -3 source points. That disappointing. But that was FilmSauce Orion in the Dark. Consider liking and subscribing, and maybe I'll see you again. Bye.